myself, man. You need a new hope. Deliver new. Giving out like Shaq at the free throw. Anybody wanna be E.T.? Man, y'all can't see me. Out of my league, you pee-wee. Pocket through beat Rakishi. Pocket through beat they sumo.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be an interesting matchup between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Jaguar team. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Colts, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Luck throwing again. Now a hit, and Luck lost the football. It's out. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
A first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one,
he coughed it up, and the Colts pick it up, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line.
Tell me I didn't just see these first 2 possessions. I mean, is this one of those cases of anything you can do, I can do
better?
Maybe not better, huh?
Worse?
Yeah, just a little bit. Very sloppy start. I think maybe a case of the nerves for both teams.
And now we're back to an even playing field. Luck and the Colts come up now 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, here's Luck. And that'll be incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. Here's Luck. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And they got across the 50 last time but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team because now your defense has to make that stand up. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
72. Hey, spread right.
Shotgun now for Bortles. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cole. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
Wow, that one took some guts. If this doesn't work, you're handing them incredible field position, but this head coach is undaunted, and he makes the call to go for it, and I'll be darned if they don't get the first down.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
On second down, it's Drake. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Lucy, Lucy. Go left, go left.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Bortles. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Terrell Basham able to track him down for a loss of 13. And it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnover. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
2 minutes remain in a scoreless first half. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's Luck now on second down. Over the middle, complete. It's Garrett. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From the gun, here's Luck. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
The Jaguars getting set to go. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Now Bortles. Throw left side complete. That's Cole. And now here's a timeout called by the Colts on the defensive side of the ball as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. This one caught over the middle by Burnett. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Lucy.
They do go for it. It's Bortles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline?
Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. Dante Fowler in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Adam Humphries as the first half is winding down. And the Colts are in for 6.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. Bortles now on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Lucy.
Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side. And this is caught at the 20. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark in the final seconds of the first half. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be fielded at the 8. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we send you a couple out. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. Now to return it, here's Kenyon Drake. And there is a flag as he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. But who's this going to be against?
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask gets him a free 15 to start the drive. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now Luck, and he's able to get up here to the 26. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. The Colts on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Luck. And that is incomplete. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. Fielded at about the 28. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
So right, so right. 372.
Back to the air on second down. It's Bortles. And his throw is incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Hey, let's go. Trips left, trips left. Check your backer.
On third down, Fournette. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They go play action here on first down. And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A 14-yard gain for Indianapolis and also move the sticks.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Dante Fowler in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
That's his second sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, Luck. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Mack. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Now it's Luck. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. Oh, then the spin. And some room to roam now.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
So after the INT, it's Bortles. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he'll get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Albert Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
Lambo on for the extra point. Point after by Lambo, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Here's Lambo out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means
touchdown, Indianapolis. Indianapolis. Adam Humphries with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Colts are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab the nugget when I can.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here comes Blake Bortles now to lead his offense back out there. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They stay on the ground with Drake. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the back now in Jacksonville. All square, 14 apiece to score as we get ready for the fourth quarter. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. On the right side, he finds Burnett. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Hey, 54, Ricky.
The Jags do snap it. It's Bortles. Over the middle, complete. It's Cole. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. Boy, an incredibly aggressive move to go for it there. Game-tied fourth quarter. You got to be surprised.
I am, and I know that we're in a new era of football where we look at the analytics sometimes, and a lot of the time the analytics tell you to go for it, right? But do the analytics take into account game situation, where we are, all those things? In this situation, I thought it was an incredibly aggressive play.
It didn't work out, and again, tie game fourth quarter makes this thing a little bit more interesting.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Only a yard of the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9. Love. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
On second down, here's Fournette. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on third down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
And his throw is going to be incomplete. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Now Leonard Fournette, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Cole. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what would be an important 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll go with a big bank Fournette. And he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Colts are going to get the football in outstanding field position.
They won't, and offensively, your challenge, should you choose to accept it, take care of the football and run out the clock. They can't just go and turtle, as we like to call it, just tuck in and just sit on the ball here. Try and get that first down and finish the game off.
The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They keep it on the ground. Mack again. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble. Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Indianapolis, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll get another road test.